Let's see if we can get a signal tonight. There's a signal. I think we're here. I think we're up and running. Hey, got Fishing Freak Gomez in the house. Appreciate it. Hopefully, we won't. That's not an omen of things to come the rest of the night right there. Started a little rough. And if you didn't notice, I missed you guys last night. I apologize for that. My wife's out of town this week, and I got home yesterday from my guide trip, and I absolutely crashed, literally with the laptop on my lap, on the couch, passed out. Your boy was done. Woke up, it was 2 in the morning, and I was like, oh snap, I done missed the Thursday night live stream. So here we are on Friday night. Hopefully some of you guys can still make the night. Looks like we're getting some of the loyals that are here every week are already joining in. You guys are catching on. I really appreciate y'all showing up on a Friday night. I'm sure y'all are getting ready for your trip tomorrow, or maybe you're going out with the family tonight, whatever it is. I certainly appreciate you taking the time out of your Friday evening to hang out and talk a little fishing with me. So, check this out. I don't do this very often, but the other day I walked into a bar, and it hurt. See what I did there? You see what I did there? That was pretty good. I like that. I heard that the other day. I just love that joke. It was funny to me. I know it was lame, but I liked it because I'm kind of lame like that. Josh Pickett says fork was tough today. Well, let's see if we can help you with that, buddy. Look, I am probably doing something that most of you guys are going to think is a little weird, a little different. I have pretty much quit fishing deep altogether. I'm basically only fishing shallow at this point. I don't really know why, other than the fact that we're catching them shallow. like yesterday, we didn't have that good of a day. Josh, this makes me feel better. We didn't catch them very good today either. I mean, we caught some good fish, but not like we have been. And yesterday we had like 24, 25 pounds on our best 5. So we're catching some good quality. I mean, it's been really good. So we'll dig right into the top 5 baits and get this thing going. Right off the bat, man, the one that's here, like I say, every week. It's here every week because it kind of is. But just the old chatterbait with the impact shad on the back. That's what caught. If you follow the Facebook page at all, you saw that we had a big one yesterday. It was almost 9 pounds, 8 pounds, 12 ounces. First bite of the morning was on this chatterbait right here with the impact shad. That little sucker right there has been getting it done. That's that evergreen jackhammer chatterbait. That's bait number 1. Bait number 2, which has been here every week as well. The 2 regular appearance, because they've been catching fish every single day. They get bites for us, and often it's good bites. 4.5-inch Smash Tech hollow belly. Owner flash swimmer hook, 5-aught. We're fishing that around a bunch of grass. That's the big key to my shallow fishing right now, guys, is grass. And I'm having to travel way back in some of these creeks, long idles, and venturing off the beaten path, so to speak, getting way off in there to find these grass-related fish that have these big, massive grass flats in the back of some of these big creeks on Fort. And one that we've been using, I just kind of started using this here the last few days, when the bite does get tough and I need a little more finesse presentation in that grass. I'm throwing the same Owner Flashy Swimmer hook, but I'm going to the Smash Tail Junior in the El Guapo color. It's a little bit softer kick. The tail kick's a little softer, a little more finesse type of a swim bait. And when the bite's been off, when the bite's been tough, this one right here has been catching some good fish for us as well. So Smash Tail Junior also been coming in handy when we're having a tough time. So Josh, hey, if you get back out there and you're having a tough time and you're fishing grass like I am, maybe pick up that Smash Tail Junior and throw it around. It's a little small kind of finesse profile swim bait. Been working good. Another new one this week. I'm fishing this Movement 80X, 6 cents lures, Movement 80X. Any type of shad pattern's fine. Even the like ghost type patterns, translucent, probably even better this time of year, honestly. That's what I feel like I should be using. I'm so in love with this color that you guys can't even get anymore, so don't pay any attention to the color. Just throw a shad pattern. But Movement 80X, and what I'm doing is I'm throwing it on big line. I'm throwing it on 20-pound line, and I'm throwing it out there, not making too long of a cast. I'm wanting to see the grass mats, and I'm throwing this in the open areas, the holes, the lanes in between the grass. I'm holding my rod straight up, and just slow reeling it. Just enough to make that bait wobble real slow, and those fish are coming up and just sucking it in. We're starting to get to that hot time of year where you get a lot of short strikes on moving baits. This helps that, because when they short strike that joker with that mean old hook that 6 Cents puts on there, buddy, they're yours. They're coming to the boat with you. Hard time short striking that, if you know what I'm saying. So that's been getting some of those fish that we're getting a lot of bites and missing them on the chatterbait and the swim bait. This puts them in the boat. We just started doing that as well. All right, number 5. This is kind of, y'all can't tell nobody about this. This ain't one that gets talked about too much. But I'm using, this is a popular summertime bait. Most people throw this on Carolina rig out deep. Smash Tech Bubble Fry. This bait right here, what I'm doing is I'm throwing it on a finesse Carolina rig in that grass and around that grass. Like, I'm talking about split shot, like a 16th ounce, just enough. On the non-windy days, when it's super windy, I can't do this. Like today, we couldn't do this today because it was just too much wind. But on the calmer days, you take that sucker right there and just finesse Carolina rig, split shot rig, mojo rig. You've heard it called a few different things probably. Throw that around that grass and just fish it almost dead stick slow, and it will get some bites when just about nothing else will. That's chartreuse pepper, Smash Tech Bubble Fry. Also, if you guys are fishing out deep, do yourself a favor and throw that bait on a Carolina rig. And look, you think, oh, that's a little bitty bait, right? If you like big baits, guess what you do? You take one of these little knobs on the end and you cut that off. You take another one and you cut that off. And you take some Mend-It and you glue them together, and now you got one twice as big, and you got a bigger bait. You can do 3 if you want to. However big you want to go, you can go. They glue together very well, and they fit perfectly. It's a great, great little stick bait finesse presentation, whether it's out deep or even in the grass. What's up, Random Skills? Ben Bossy. Fred Solis in the house. Buzzy Gruen. We'll be seeing you soon. Looking forward to it, buddy. Brett, yeah, I did. Somebody's asking about Matt Allen from Tactical Bass, and I did read about that wreck. Somebody told me about it. I didn't read about it. Somebody told me about it. He was in a pretty bad wreck. I think him and his dad were okay, if I from what I heard. But the person they were in the accident with was not okay. Did not make it. So that was a bad deal there. Good afternoon to you, Justin Ives. What's up, pro player? Good to see you. Watching from work. That's my dog. Needs to hurry and be July so I can order the new guide in the graph. It's on the way, boys. It's on the way. We ain't got but about, what, 8 days left, something like that. Little Caney fished really well, or not. Little Caney did you wrong, I guess. That's awesome. All right, guys, if y'all got some questions, man, y'all want to talk about anything, ask me about anything, go ahead, pop them in there. I'll be happy to go into whatever y'all want to go into. I've kind of talked about the bait, so get your questions rolling. Let's get it going tonight. In fact, you know what? I'll ask you guys a question, and y'all can talk to me about it. So, what lake in East Texas that you guys have not seen me film on would you like me to go to? Maybe we can find one that you guys want to see that I'll be going to for the first time. It needs to be somewhere local for me, somewhere around East Texas. Have I ever tried stroking a chatterbait instead of a spoon? Kind of. I got something in the works that I'm kind of getting a bait made for to try a technique, so I don't want to go into too much detail because I want to keep it under my hat until I figure out if it works or not. But kind of in a way, but not really. So I guess the answer is really kind of no. Pro Player says he loves the new intro. Appreciate that. Tawakoni, Ray Hubbard, Tawakoni. Bob Sandlin, Tawakoni, Levon, Ray Hubbard. Hubbard and Tawakoni are in it for the win right now. Whoever gets the most votes between Tawakoni and Hubbard, we got another Sandlin in. Y'all just keep popping your wish list in, And whichever one has the most at the end, we'll do a video sometime in the next few weeks on that lake in the tough summer months. See if we can't. I might go out there and zero. It happens to me too. I'm just saying it does. I mean, I'm not. Man, I appreciate you guys, and I know a lot of you guys think I'm like great at fishing. It's so weird to me because I just feel like I'm just another guy out there grinding for a bite. I have my good days and my bad days. I've been on a pretty good run here this year. We've had a good year. Cypress Springs. We did a Cypress Springs video back in the winter. It was freezing cold. Water temps were like 38 degrees. Can I give you a shout out? Thomas Bryan. Shout out. Shout to you, Brian Thomas. Thomas Bryan. You like Ricky Bobby. You got 2 first names. You're the first and last, Brian Thomas. Thomas Bryan. And let's see. Buzzy Gruen. I really like the way that you spelled Cypress. That was awesome, buddy. That was very good. I get to make fun of y'all because y'all my people. What's the water temp in the back of the pockets when I'm fishing the grass? Close to 90. It was 90 back in May when we had a bunch of 100-degree days in a row. Today, I think I saw 88. I mean, it's getting back close to 90. If you ain't first, you're last. That's right. I love it. Love me some Ricky Bobby. Step Brothers. You got to call me Dragon. Well, you can call me Nighthawk. Come on, Wi-Fi signal. Don't fail me now. Have I had a slowdown on the frog bite? Man, the frog bite has not been great this year. I'm not even bothering to throw a frog hardly anymore, honestly. It just, the chatterbait and the swim bait's been so consistent for me, and the frog bite faded on me so early that I kind of got away from it. A little more insight on the Finesse Carolina rig. So the way that I like to set up a Finesse Carolina rig is like such. I will actually take like a 16th ounce slip sinker, just a bullet weight that you would use on a Texas rig. Slide that on the line. I actually put a bobber stop underneath it to make it so I can adjust the length of my leader however I want it. And I just take that bobber stop and slide it up about 18 inches. Is usually what I use, about 18-inch leader. And then I use a 3/0 EWG hook on that bubble fry and throw it out there and just drag it. It'll catch in that grass a little bit, snap it out, let it flutter out and fall down, and just fish it real slow. That's basically it. What lure would I throw in a pond right now? Well, chatterbait's always good. The weedless swim baits are always good. Those baits are so versatile, and they go through any cover. In a pond, I would definitely have those on my list. A lot of times, frog fishing can be really good in a pond in the summer, and always weightless plastics, wacky worms are always a good option in a pond. Michael McDaniel wants to see a video throwing a buzzbait. May have to get a little bit more into the fall weather before I can get you a good buzzbait video, Michael. As soon as we can catch some good ones on a buzzbait, I will try to do that, buddy. What size rod am I throwing the Finesse Mojo rig on? I'm throwing on a 7-1 medium heavy. 6 cents Lux rod. And 15-pound fluorocarbons in line. Athens. I've done videos on Athens. I've done multiple videos on Athens. Matt Scotch. You need to watch more of my videos. I'm just kidding. I know you watch a bunch of them, buddy. Yeah, we've done Athens. Which one was it? Was it Hubbard that had the most? Might have been Tawakoni. Are the Lux rods worth the money? Oh, yes. Buy a Lux rod. Buy a Lux rod. Josh Pickett, I think you're asking me, what is my favorite East Texas lake besides Fork? It used to be Monticello. It used to be till they shut the plant down. So my favorite, God, it's so, man, we got so many good little lakes that I'm really fond of. That's almost impossible for me to narrow it down to one. Gotta think about that one for a second. I like Pines a lot. I like Palestine a lot. My favorite might be Brandy Branch, because they bite a big swim bait there, and they bite. You can punch grass, and they have a good punching bite there at times, and that is two of my very favorite techniques. And they bite a frog there. I mean, it's a fun lake to fish because of what they eat out there, because of the techniques they like, and there's really big fish in Brandy Branch. Brandy Branch, it's a little far away, like it's a drive for me. That might be my favorite East Texas lake other than Fork. The one I've had the most success on is Hallbrook. Man, I used to fish tournaments at Hallbrook, like little open tournaments and stuff like that. Dude, I used to make money on Hallbrook. I just always had good success on Hallbrook. I don't know why. No deep water fishing, Ben. No, man, the shallow water's been so good to me, and I've got a lot of it to myself, so I've been kind of sticking shallow. Have I fished with Lake Fork Guy in a while? Not since the end of March or early April. Whenever that last video was that we did all the sight fishing with him and Flair, that was the last time I fished with him. And Okie, love fishing Texas, so you're always looking for a new place. Yeah. If you've never been to Brandy Branch, go check it out. It's a hot water lake, but it's shaped like this, and the plant's up here, so you got like a cold arm and a hot arm, and it fishes great. It's an awesome lake. Rod for a small square bill, 7-1 medium heavy might be a little much. It depends on how much limberness. For me on Fork, the way we do it, I throw the 7-1 medium heavy on my square bills, but you could definitely do the 6-11 medium heavy Lux rod and have a very good square bill rod there as well. It depends on how much whip you want in it. Oh, I live in Arkansas. I'm 13 years old, but I wanted to fish in Texas, so I should fly him down there. Bro, you don't know. Guides don't make a lot of money, buddy. We ain't getting rich guiding, okay? No, man. I would love to, but that just is not in my economical outlook right now. Will Texas rigs work most of the year? Yeah, absolutely. Texas rigs never a bad option. Carl Renfro, you're welcome, sir. A lot of people want me to go to Tawakoni. Yeah, tackling gas ain't cheap. That's the deal with guiding. People see our rates, and I charge $450 a day, and people are like, man, that's a lot of money. You know, here's the deal. The deal is it's very expensive. You see that thing behind me, like old Red? Old Red is high maintenance, son. She costs a lot of money. And, yes, the gas and the tackle, and I get a lot of support from sponsors, but still, man, it's out of that $450, I'm lucky to see $250 profit per day on average when you factor in boat payment, insurance, and everything that goes into it. I figured it out. I'm getting about $250 on average per day profit. I mean, it's and if you're really busy, you guide 200 days a year, not 260 or whatever the normal person works. So it is. If you want to be broke for life, bass fish for a living. That's true. Very true. Do I know Johnny Glass? I do know Johnny Glass. Am I using a straight shank or wide gap hook on that Finesse Carolina rig? I'm using a EWG wide gap. What time of day am I catching most of my fish? All day. It's in spurts throughout the day. Like we'll have a flurry in the morning, then a flurry in the mid-morning, then a flurry in the afternoon. Like it definitely happens in bunches, like little spurts of bites. But even at the end of the day, sometimes we're catching them. So they're grouping up in creek channel swings and points and stuff within that grass, and they will bite like offshore structure fish out deep. They'll bite randomly. Kind of, it's a timing deal throughout the day. Jay Laugh in the house. Appreciate you, buddy. You're only late because I did it on the wrong night. I know. It's my fault. 7.5 extra heavy or 7.6 heavy for frogs. I like a little bit of tip in my frog rod. Like, not a lot. Like, I want a heavy rod. I like the 7.6 heavy for the frog, for me. I want to be able to control that frog when I'm casting it, walking it. I want it to land soft. I need a little tip to do that. That's 7/6 heavy. And keep in mind, tip is a relative term, but that 7/6 heavy fits the bill for me on a frog. What kind of grass am I catching them in? It's a mixture of coontail and hydrilla. Some places it's all coontail, some places it's both. But coontail and hydrilla is the two type of grass that I'm focused on right now. Guys, when we're talking about this rod, for those that don't know, I'm using the, and I've got a new prototype one right here, but I'm using the 6 Sense Lux rod. This is a new prototype. It doesn't even have a name yet. It's got a different handle on it and everything else. Yeah, I don't be telling nobody I'm showing you this, but this is one they gave to me. I got to try it out, but yeah, the 6 Sense Lux rods, they look very similar to this. Those are the rods I'm using, and man, I am so happy with those. Just switched to them here a few months back, and they are phenomenal. Caddo, you had me at Caddo. I love Lake Caddo. I do need to go do a video on Lake Caddo. We've had more votes for others, but God, I love Caddo. That's such an awesome lake. How do you go about locating grass on a lake you don't know? I need to, you know what? That is a great idea for a Guides Network video. This quick answer is get on Google Earth. Get on Google Earth and check that lake out and look for where you can see matted grass. That's the best way to do it. Typically, it's going to be on the end furthest away from the dam, as far back away from it as you can get. That's where the most grass is going to start growing and work its way down the lake. But each lake can be different, so definitely do some Google Earth research. That's the quickest way to tell you that. Whoa, what just happened? What just happened? I just did something to my screen. Where can you get one of the 6 Sense hats? 6sensefishing.com. They did put, this was a special one he made just for me, actually. It wasn't even for sale, but it is for sale now. He put it on the website. So if you guys like this hat, you can order this exact hat. And they have a bunch of other hats. Dude, they got some awesome hats. They've even got some duck hunting hats that they sell, like this right here. And I don't have my other hats right in here with me, but, man, they've got a bunch of great hats. And when you go there, punch in that code, Your Lake Fork Guide, go to the checkout screen, enter a promo, click that, enter Your Lake Fork Guide, you get a 10% discount on anything you buy there. Are there carp in Fork? Yeah. There's huge carp in Fork. The World Championship, international, literally guys come from England and stuff. World Championship for carp is on Fork. Lake Natchitoches is a lake. Yeah, that's a good one. I would love to do a video there. But T-Walk and Hubbard have the vote right now. I would much rather a bunch of you guys vote for Natchitoches or Caddo. Right now it's T-Walk and Hubbard. Natchitoches and Caddo are a little bit far, though. I don't know. That may be out of range. Does the mesh touch your ears? I mean, it's not touching my ears at all. I guess it depends on the shape of your head. You got a peanut head or a watermelon head like me? I don't know. I need a kickback for the camo for that. I don't need a kickback. Mr. Hayden does. He's the one, like, I told him I wanted something with an American flag, 4th of July coming up, and he put this hat together just knowing me because I like that camo. He knows that. And so he actually slapped this thing together for me. Works down there at 6 Sense Lures. He's a good dude, man. T-Walk is in my backyard. T-Walk's next door. That's an easy one to get to for me. Come on, Signal. Don't fade on me now. We're almost there. I think it held up. Any species of fish on my catch wish list? Yes. I can think of a couple. I want to do the Brazilian peacock bass, not the Florida peacock bass. I want to go to Brazil to catch peacock bass. And I want to catch a Goliath grouper on a hand line one time. Just one of them. I don't want a bunch, just one. And I want to catch a tarpon. I've never caught a tarpon, never caught Goliath grouper, never been to Brazil for peacock. That's the 3 that are on my I gotta do list at some point in my life. Am I seeing any schooling activity in main lake areas? I don't know. I think we're caught up. Let's see. Are we caught up? I believe we're caught up. What fluorocarbon line do I use? Seagull or Red Label? Right there. Seagull Red Label. There's some 20-pound for you. It has, I mean, it's pretty tough. Like, it's got some memory to it, but it has, it just has great knot strength, great durability. It's very, very strong line. Is there a good shallow bite out on fork? No, no shallow bite on fork. I mean, I caught like, my customers caught like 25 pounds in 3 foot of water yesterday, but there's no shallow bite on fork. If you saw, I guess you maybe not see, all 5 of my top 5 baits were shallow. I'm not even bothering with deep anymore right now. That could change tomorrow, but right now, I've been fishing all shallow pretty much all week. What are the weed laws in Texas while fishing? You mean like marijuana? Bro, this is Texas, like the most conservative state in the world. Weed ain't legal anywhere, anytime, any place in Texas, bud. I ain't judging. I ain't knocking. I'm just saying it ain't legal in Texas. And it will probably be the very last place that it gets legal. Do I use KVD line and lure or Ike's reels? I don't use any like line conditioning, but here's the deal. My line gets stretched every day. Like, that's a lot more important for guys that keep their rods stored up all week and they don't get their line unspooled all week. Like, it's not really a big deal when you're fishing every day. You don't need to use that stuff. How does a teen angler get into local tournaments? You just go fish them. Join a bass club. You know, as a co-angler, there's a lot of bass clubs. Just search bass clubs in your area and join a bass club as a co-angler, and that's a great way to start. Try to fend off and ignore some of the douchebaggery that goes on with tournament fishermen. It's part of it. Some of them think they're freaking Gerald Swindle because they were Angler of the Year in a 20-boat club last year. Ignore those guys. The dude that wears the jersey to the club tournament, don't pay any attention to him. Not all guys that wear jerseys are bad, but some of them are bad. Like a guy that's on like 30 pro staffs and he fishes 5 club tournaments a year, stay away from that guy. But yeah, just get into a club. I don't know where you're at, but like here in East Texas, there's like open tournaments all the time. And if you have somebody that has a boat, or you can find a partner that has a boat, man, you just go fishing with it. You just got to go. I mean, it's not hard to get into. You just got to go do it. Search it up, man. Use that old computer and get on there and search. I know you're young. You said you're a teen. I know you know how to find stuff on the interwebs. Looking for good fluorocarbon line for heavy cover flipping. Would you recommend 20 or 25 pound? That 20 pound Seagull Red Label is tough. Like, even when I flip a jig in creek channels and nasty root systems and all that on Lake Fork where the fish are big and mean, like, that's what I use. Like, that 20 pound fluoro is plenty for flipping heavy cover if you want to use fluoro. If it's real heavy vegetation cover, I like to use braid. But yeah, there you go. What's a good rod to use for a little bit of everything? Man, that 7-foot medium heavy range is the most versatile. Like, that 7.1 medium heavy, that's hard to beat. They have a 7.5 heavy that has a moderate tip in the Lux rods. That might be an even better, more versatile rod because it's longer, you can get away with some bigger stuff a little better, but it's got enough tip to throw, like, if you're good at casting, you can throw a weightless plastic on it. But in all rod types, all rod brands, something around 7 foot to 7.2 medium heavy is going to be your most versatile rod. Ben Bossy, man, I see your question. That's just not something I really want to address right here, buddy. I appreciate it, though. I hope you understand that. Kind of hard in Kansas City, Missouri. So you're in Kansas City, Missouri looking for tournaments. Man, I just don't know that area. There should be, hopefully there's some bass clubs. If there's not bass clubs, I don't really know. That's kind of what everybody does around here. What I did was I just started fishing open tournaments. When I started fishing tournaments, I had my own boat, and I had a cheap boat, like $3,500 old '93 model glass boat that I was fishing out of, and I just went and fished tournaments. I just looked up different open tournaments around here. For your area specifically, there should be some bass clubs though, and usually the bass clubs have a co-angler deal where you sign up as a co-angler and you just get a random draw as who you fish with for that tournament, and you can fish that way, and you just got to give your boater some money for gas and his expenses, and pay your entry, of course. But co-angling in a bass club is probably the best way to get started for somebody that's young like you that doesn't. Sean Allen. Bro, I'll promise you it ain't the right. Like it's not the router. Nobody. There's a reason why nobody else in East Texas tries to do this. Like it's just part of the deal out here, bro. I apologize to you guys. I do the best I can, but it is part of the deal. That's really funny though, Sean. That was probably comment of the night right there. Let me see, I missed some stuff up here. Have I seen the Garmin LiveScope? Heard about it, haven't seen it. What did I say? Oh, Bass Club's the way to do it. They have a co-angler, so the Bass Clubs have a co-angler division where you can sign up and you just get random draw as to which boater you get assigned to for each tournament. You just pay your entry fee and you got to give your boater some money for gas and his expenses. But for a young guy that doesn't have a boat, being a co-angler in a bass club is probably the best way to get started. That's how most people do it. Do I use leaders? Rarely. On Fork, I don't use them very much. I don't like having extra knots on a lake like Fork with all the heavy cover and stuff. But when I do use a leader, I use a uni to uni knot. Do I use backing when I spool up my reels, or do I just load it up? I use backing on braid and fluorocarbon, just so I don't waste a bunch of line, of the more expensive line. All right. I think that's going to be just about our time. If you got any last minute questions, drop them in. I'll try to answer them. Appreciate you guys joining me on a Friday night. Hope y'all catch some fish this weekend. I'm sorry that I missed you guys last night. A little bit of exhaustion set in on your boy, and I crashed. And I apologize. Did I get your email on the Guide in the Graph chip, Joe Coker? I've gotten a ton of emails lately. Text me, Joe. My number's posted everywhere. Text me whatever your question was when we're done with the live stream, please. JD Sports Room, I see what you're doing there. Hey, he's in Kansas City, bud, Missouri. All right. That's good, man. You guys are awesome. Y'all, like I said, I don't have the biggest audience. I just got the best audience, and I'm perfectly fine with that. We are growing, though. Have y'all noticed that our subscriber count keeps getting a little bit bigger every day? We got new people coming into the fold. I love it, man. I love it. Anyways, appreciate you guys so much, man. Get out there, get after them. If you like fishing deep, don't worry. Them boys are catching them deep. I personally am not doing the deep thing this week. Could be different next week. That's Lake Fork. It's very versatile. So get out there, do what you're confident in, grind on them. It's a tough lake, but man, can it be good when it rewards you. Get out there and grind on them wherever you're fishing. Take that same attitude. It's summertime. It can get a little tough. But when you find them, you usually find them in bunches right now. So best of luck to y'all. And let's see. Caught an 8-pounder on Thursday. You deserve. Oh, thank you, JD. I appreciate that. Yep. You guys are awesome, man. I keep reading comments. I'm trying to tell you good night, and I'm rambling like I always do. So we'll go ahead and wrap it up and say we'll see you next time right here. Your